Welcome, Jackednnerdy fans, to my full non-spoiler review for Sound of Freedom. As always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you guys never miss out on a video. But with that out of the way, let's jump straight into it. So, if any of you guys watched my initial out-of-theatre reaction, this is a very thought-provoking and emotional roller coaster of a film. It deals with very deep, dark content, things that just should not exist in the world that we live in today, but unfortunately do, and are growing at an exponential rate. So this film is not for everyone. However, I do recommend, if you are a parent or have loved ones who are young, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, I highly recommend it. Well, you know what? I highly recommend everyone goes and sees this film and gives it support and backing, but also use this film as a bit of a wake-up call to what's going on in the world, and that we all need to do better. So, also I mentioned in my out of the theatre reaction that there is no woke agenda with this film. There's no wokeism, no woke themes, no nothing. There are, as far as I'm concerned, there's no political agenda or political leaning. It doesn't lean left, it doesn't lean right, it doesn't, it's not out there preaching anything except for the fact that we all as human beings need to do a better job at protecting children. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no political agenda of this film, which is refreshing as well. So no woke undertones, no woke agenda, no political agenda, just putting out there a very meaningful, thought-provoking film, which I loved. I thought it was very refreshing. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know I am a big fan of films that are based on true events, telling a story about something that actually happened. I love those types of films. I like learning about things, events that have happened and whatnot, and people in history and things that people have done. And this is no different. It's awesome to see a movie about a person who's just gone out of their way to do the right thing, just because it's the right thing to do, and to the detriment of themselves, and their family and their loved ones. They knew what they needed to do, and they just went ahead and did it. So so that's very refreshing and great to see as well. So this film has a really good cast in it. Jim Caviezel, who was in Person of Interest and also The Count of Monte Cristo. I think he's a fantastic actor, and I love seeing him in films. Bill Camp, Kurt Fuller, this really, there was not a single person cast in this film that I didn't think that didn't deserve to be there. They were all fantastic, and they all did a fantastic job, and I love it. Especially Bill Camp. I actually really enjoyed his character. And of course John Caviezel, but Bill Camp just really stood out to me, and I loved every time he was on screen. The majority of this film is filmed in South America, exactly where it was set. And I mean, just the cinematography, the scenery, all of those sorts of things is just fantastic. They did a really great job. The use of music and audio, the soundtrack, is absolutely brilliant in this film, and it keeps you engaged and just gives you subtle undertones of dread or happiness or what have you. in all honesty, top to bottom, I could not fault this film at all. Like, it is a brilliant, a wonderfully made film. You know, like I said, the thing that gets you is it's very real and very heavy content, and it hits you right from the beginning. It doesn't pull its punches, and it doesn't ease you into it. Basically, within literally the first 5 minutes, you're in the thick of it, and you want to start crying straight away, just because the content is just so emotionally heavy and what have you. I don't think there was a single dry eye in my screening, and I'll admit that there were about 4 or 5 times, maybe more, 6, 7 times in the film that I started to well up and started to have a little bit of a cry. Even the drive home, there were multiple times driving home, and I'm only about 15 minutes drive from the cinemas, but there were several times in that drive home that I wanted to burst into tears as well. I wasn't even going to do an out of the theatre reaction, but I just sat in my driveway for about 5-10 minutes after I got home, and I just felt I needed to put on an initial reaction video. So be warned. You're not, even though it's got a semi-happy ending, and I say semi, you still come out of the film just wanting to cry and feeling sad and what have you. So make sure you're with a loved one when you see this film, or after you've seen the movie. If you go and see it by yourself, after you've seen the movie, get in contact with a loved one and just have a chat. If you've got kids, give them a hug, hold them close. Unfortunately, when I got home, my little boy was already in bed fast asleep, so I didn't want to wake him up to have a hug or a cuddle or anything like that. But I gave him a big one this morning when he woke up. It's one of those things, you want to hold your kids close after watching this film. So, this film was made 5 years ago and was ready for release 5 years ago, but they had all sorts of problems getting it released. Go figure. But they managed to do it. They managed to get a distributor called Angel Studios, who kind of bankrolled the distribution and everything of getting this film out there, which I think is fantastic. So I highly encourage everybody to get out there, get to the cinemas. The old saying, vote with your dollars. Go out there, get to the cinemas, see Sound of Freedom. Give this movie, the support that it deserves. And, I saw an interview with Jim Caviezel and the man that this film is actually based on, and they said that they've got about 2 or 3 other stories that they want to make. Even though the content of this film is so heavy and so disturbing and saddening, I want to see them go ahead and make these other films to get the message out there, and get the information out there about what's going on. Also, I think a lot of the revenue that this film generates is going back into help fund projects that help young children and what have you. So, look, as I said, get out there, use your dollars and support this film. Get to the cinemas and see Sound of Freedom. I give this movie a solid 8 out of 10. In my opinion, I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's scoring really well on IMDB and Rotten Tomatoes at the moment. Despite, a lot of mainstream media or mainstream news outlets trying to dissuade people from seeing it. word of mouth is getting around that this is a fantastic film and people are getting out there to support it. So please, 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 from the bottom of my heart, hug your children, hold them close, and get out there, go and see Sound of Freedom at the cinemas. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. As I said before, we've got heaps more content coming out. Hopefully not as dark and deep as this. Hopefully we got some fun, entertaining films coming out over the next couple of months. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my review videos. And until next time, guys, stay jacked and stay nerdy.